Hello again, good friends. Welcome, new subscribers. I'm Brian from Apex Detail. Today we'll take a look at Sonax Polymer Net Shield. I absolutely love working with the Sonax product line, so I thought you and I would enjoy taking a look at their spray sealant. This is an aerosol spray sealant. As soon as the product leaves the can, hits the oxygen, the polymers start to link up. These are inorganic and organic polymers, and they team up to form a brilliant shine and some excellent protection against rainfall, bird droppings, bug splatter, and all that Mother Nature can throw at it. So I have a panel set up. We're going to take a look at the product's application, how it wipes off, how it responds to different environmental issues, and we're going to head out and do that right now. The Sonax Polymer Net Shield comes in an aerosol can. You can get two sizes that I've seen so far, 340 milliliters for $29 and also a 75 milliliter for $10 even. Preparing the surface for sealant. Guys, it's absolutely imperative and really influences the sealant's durability and the way it performs. What I do here, and let's just say the vehicle has been washed, it's been clayed, it's been decontaminated. I'll hit it with an IP solution or body solvent or panel prep, whatever you want to call it. Then I'm going to hit it with the Angel Wax Perfect Polish. Even if the paint is ready to go, perfect for a sealant or a wax, which rarely happens. There's always some type of correction that needs to be done. But I'll take the Angel Wax Perfect Polish, and that is a cleaner for the most part, but it does include very minor abrasives. I'm going to use that to clean it and jewel it and flatten out the surface. Jeweling is getting the surface as flat as we can, and that gives us the best gloss out of a finish. And then after that, I'm going to follow up with an IP solution once again and get ready to apply the sealant. Where the cleaner polish was used, there's a little bit of thin residue to remove, and I'll follow up with an IP solution or body solvent and make sure that that clear coat or gel coat, whatever you're applying to, is naked. So if you're applying a wax or a sealant or even a coating, it's going to have the best bond with that surface. You can get the most out of it that way. Okay, the hood's not perfect. It gets thrown around. It's a test hood. It's a little dull, but it is perfectly clean. There's no wax or old sealant or any type of residue that's going to get in between the polymer net shield here and the clear coat, and we're ready to go. Two basic ways to apply the net shield: to spray directly onto a panel. Do it in the shade, out of the sun. Make sure it's a nice cool surface. Spray it on the panel and use a microfiber to spread it out evenly first before you wipe it off. Don't just spray it on the panel and then directly wipe it off. Spread it out nice and even. And you can see here just how quickly you can remove any residue that's left over. This sealant here happens to be user-friendly and very easy to remove. I do want to add, sealants that are easy to remove may not be the most durable ones. I find that for a high percentage of the time, not 100%, but a very high percentage of the time, those sealants that are a little bit of work to get off seem to be the most durable. The second way to apply, and this is the way I apply, there's hardly any waste to the product, except for a little bit that could soak into the microfiber. But other than that, a little bit goes a long way. As you can see, just one little tiny spray into the microfiber applicator, and you can easily cover this 2x2 area here, cross hatch it, do left, right, crisscross patterns, and then I'll wipe off. There's no cure time for this. You can wipe off absolutely right after you're done spreading it out. Although not called for, I will let it set for a few hours before taking it out into free-flowing water. If it's overcast outside, there's a chance of rain. I'll let it sit inside overnight and give it the best chance to cure. Getting back to the sealants that are a bear to wipe off after they've hazed over for a bit. Next time you have one and you're swearing at yourself you'll never purchase it again, well, Compare that to a sealant that just sprays on and wipes off. When it comes to durability, it might be worth the work. You can easily see the contrast between the protected and unprotected area of this panel. It makes the area deeper, darker, richer, a little bit more glossy. The next shot here will be for those of you who absolutely love the beading properties of protection. And there are two types of sealants, just like there are two types of coatings. The ones that really have crazy beading and some that sheet. There's a smaller percentage of the ones that sheet because people just love the beading so much, but those cut back on hard water spots. So look out for those if you're in an area that has that type of problem. It doesn't mean it's not protecting, it just has different hydrophobic qualities. And I believe the sealant that we have up next here to showcase for you guys is a sealant that does more sheeting. Now here we have a pressure washer, and I hold it as close as I can to show you. This isn't a sealant you can just blast off like a wax with high pressure water. Also makes it great when you're drying. If you use forced air, it just rolls the water right off the panel. Not going to go crazy here because I do want to put this sealant on a panel with another sealant and compare them and then beat them up a bit. But sealants are resistant to some chemicals, sometimes on the pH scale between 5 and 9. A lot of the coatings are between 2 and 12, 3 and 11, somewhere in that range. And sealants are just a little bit less protective. So we will introduce here an all-purpose cleaner. This is diluted a bit, but it's Purple Power. It's pretty strong. One of the strongest cleaners out there. And we'll layer it on, let it sit for quite a bit, and we'll rinse it. I'm not going to agitate it or anything. And as you can see here, that has not affected it whatsoever. One more quick thing before we end it for the day. I'll use Geon Prep, and I use this to remove old waxes and sealants. However, I have to agitate it to get a good sealant off of there, and this sealant here is fresh. I'm not going to agitate. I'll just let it sit and dwell on top of the sealant and see if it breaks it down that way by itself. This time the panel prep has affected the sealant, and it's taken away the beading capabilities. It's not completely gone, it's still present, it's still there protecting, but it now sheets instead. Not bad if you have hard water spot problems. But we are going to stop here. If I was to dry it now and mist it, you still would see a perfect square where the sealant is present and still protecting, but I'm going to stop right here. For some final thoughts on the Sonax Polymer Net Shield before we part ways for the day. For those of you who really love the crazy beading, you're going to enjoy the sealant. When the beading starts to ease up a little bit, that doesn't mean the sealant is starting to fail and is finished quite yet, because I'd like to note there seems to be a second tier of protection, and that's where it really starts to sheet. And that's not bad either, because it cuts down on hard water spots for those of you who may have that problem. I did stop right there because I want to put it on a panel and compare it to another sealant. And we'll compare them, and then we'll beat them up a little bit, and we'll see what happens and how it performs next to another sealant. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. Brian from Apex Detail. I'll catch you guys in the next video.